Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Zmore, the Dad in DPS, and we're back once again for another episode of The Good, The Scrap and Scrip, a series where I test weapons in Appalachia and see how well they do. Today is no different. Now, before we get into it, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the coffee link down below, or click that join button to become a YouTube member. So, what am I using today? Shock through the arse, and you're to blame. Todd gives Fallout a bad name. So yeah, you would recognise this weapon from yesterday's video if you watched it. It's an anti-armour, 25 damage while aiming, 50 resistance while aiming. It is a Tesla rifle of fairly decent damage. Now we're testing this pre-patch, so this might actually become significantly more powerful after the next patch, which I might test it again just to prove the point and then, you know, make more content out of it. But either way, let's get to the testing and see how well it does. Now, if you find a person that doesn't think a radium rifle, a Tesla rifle is a good gun, you've got a person that has never used one. They are very, very effective weapons, and if you're unfamiliar with it, well, look at this. I hit enemies I'm not even aiming at. Literally. Just burn. And that's one of the greatest things about this gun, is you literally do not even need to aim in order to use it effectively. And when you do aim it, you're going to get a lot of damage fairly quickly. Most enemies, for the most part, do not stand a chance against this gun, and you can use it in short bursts in order to do a lot of damage very quickly, and wipe out massive groups of enemies with relative ease. I mean, literally, everything melts to this gun. And the anti-armor thing on here is just significantly amazing. The damage is just, yeah, I'm loving it. Loving it. Not like McDonald's. Not loving it like that. Oh, god damn it. The range on it, however, isn't the best. It's not like most rifles where you can hit things from the arse end of nowhere. And with the new patch, you don't need to worry about looting ash piles. So yeah, very good gun. Let's see what I'm using. A couple of notes that I will point out here. I am using things like Grenadier on the basis that it actually increases the arc of the Tesla rifle. So definitely use that. 100% use that with this gun. That is all. You can see the build, you know what I'm using. If you could smell it, the rain doesn't hide it. It's definitely Jeff. There he is, wallowing in his big pit. I wish this gun did extra damage for when they're in the bodies of water, that'd be amazing. Either way, let's give Jeff a bad day. Unfortunately with this gun, and with Jeff in general, the clip size isn't significant enough to deal a lot of damage to him. But at the same time, I don't really miss him unless I'm aiming for the head normally. Now, the biggest problem I've got is I keep forgetting that this gun should be aimed like this, because I'm getting the most out of my damage. And that's my downside. As you're seeing, it's not very good at killing Jeff effectively in comparison to other weapons that you've seen in the past. But at the same time, that's mainly because its clip size is so small. Like, it's got one of the smallest clip sizes on a weapon with a fire rate like that of anything. But it's still effective, but it's primarily best used on groups of smaller enemies. But that is what it is. Not every weapon's good at everything. Now, because of the nature of this weapon, I will attempt to fight the Queen with everything there. Because there's no point in not doing it. Let's see if we can wake her up. There we go. Because realistically, I should be aiming this weapon at her and trying to get as much damage as possible and try to kill everything fairly quickly. The biggest problem being, these things hurt quite a significant amount. So I need to be careful not to waste my time too much on running and not enough time on killing. As you're seeing, we're doing relatively well. It's just unfortunate that this isn't it's not a big enemy killer. It really isn't. But at the same time, anything else comes near me, and we're dealing with it relatively easily. I don't need to directly aim at enemies in order to kill them. I do need to make an effort to run away when the queen is getting a little bit too antsy, and use cover in order to subvert her ridiculous damage. But on a full health build, I'm doing not bad at all. I just wish you would cripple. Then again, I'm not wearing Tormentor. I should have thought about that before I went this. That probably would have been the easier way to do this. But it's the kind of thing where she's not killing me. She's not even got close, really. She's got a couple of direct hits, but even then, we are able to do this relatively easily. And I'm going to be really interested to see how this changes with the next patch and with the increase to energy damage, or I suppose the recalculation of energy damage. As I said, this is not a giant killing weapon. This is best suited on large groups of smaller enemies. So with any bout of daily ops, the real question becomes, how well does it do? And quite significantly, oh, are you bugged? No, quite significantly, it does relatively well against a lot of enemies. I think I found a code carrier. As you're seeing, I can kite enemies and sort of, what the hell just exploded? I can kite enemies and basically just avoid the combat. I can shoot round corners, and I can basically do things that other enemies, other guns can't. Because if I can't be hit, well, if I can't see an enemy and an enemy can't see me, I can just fire my gun in a way that where I can get all the hits in and they get nothing. On top of that, it'll also fire behind me if I'm shooting like a wall. The biggest downside to this weapon, however, is its clip size. It's really poor, and quite often, if something stupid blocks an attack, or you basically get bogged down by enemies, you can get overwhelmed relatively easily. So you need to use your distance to your advantage. You need to back off when you're getting flanked, all that kind of thing. But as you're seeing, we're killing relatively quickly, and we're getting, I want to say we're getting our ammo back. I can't say definitively, but we are getting very close, if not very near to that. And the biggest advantage, those enemies that like to sneak around the floor or sneak around and you can't see them, this thing will hit them regardless of if you're aiming directly at them or not. If you're aiming beside them, you will hit them. So nothing will avoid your wrath in the case of this gun. Overall, very, very good, very consistent. Downside, clip is really small. So that was today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. If you'd like to support the channel, you can become a YouTube member by clicking that join button, and there's the coffee link down below. Now let's mention our YouTube members. First off, let's start with Golty, our only chosen Undead member. And then we have our Dad's Army members, which are Wyatt Blackburn, Waller is me, Dalefian Gaming, Colin G, Brian RMC, Peggy Midnight, Matazbo, Devilman Games, Marcus Carrasco, Scott S, Bubba Doodle Mom, Ranger McSpriddle, and Anxiety Rangers. Really appreciate all the support from you guys. It is infinitely welcome, and I hope you're all doing well. And yeah, this weapon, I think it's very consistently good against small enemies. It's always been that case. It might get a power boost in the near future, and I hope it does, because Tesla rifles are incredibly fun. Don't get me wrong, the quad Tesla rifle is by far the superior version, just because of the sheer amount of, well, damage you can pump out on enemies in a short amount of time, and the consistent spray. But at the same time, with the damage buff this is going to be receiving soon, you never know what might happen. Either way, I'll catch you all next time in the Wasteland.